Hello everyone, I'm Renown Zero. We are talking about some massive layoffs coming out of Microsoft, beginning with deep cuts going across the Xbox division, saying that jobs cut at King are 10% of staff, or about 200 jobs, and ZeniMax in Europe. US units expected to be told later on today on the number of job cuts. And we have a message from Phil Spencer himself to the staff right here that says, "Today we are sharing decisions that will impact colleagues across our organization to position gaming for enduring success and allow us to focus on strategic growth areas. We will end or decrease work in certain areas of the business and follow Microsoft's lead in removing layers of management to increase agility and effectiveness." So basically trimming the fat, getting rid of the people who really have no impact anywhere within Microsoft. Out of respect for those impacted today, the specifics of today's notifications and any organizational shifts will be shared by your team leaders in the coming days. I recognize that these changes come at a time when we have more players, games, and gaming hours than ever before. Our platform hardware and game roadmap have never looked stronger, even as they canceled some games, and we'll get into that. The success we're seeing currently is based on tough decisions we've made previously. We must make choices now for continued success in future years, and a key part of that strategy is the discipline to prioritize the strongest opportunities. We will protect what is thriving and concentrate effort on areas with the greatest potential while delivering on the expectations the company has for our business. This focused approach means we can deliver exceptional games and experiences for players for generations to come. Prioritizing our opportunities is essential, but that does not lessen the significance of this moment, and hopefully everyone who was laid off does find new jobs. I'm sure they will. Simply put, we would not be where we are today without the time, energy, and creativity of those whose roles are impacted. These decisions are not a reflection of the talent, creativity, and dedication of the people involved. Our momentum is not accidental. It is a result of years of dedicated effort from our teams. HR is working directly with impacted employees to provide severance plan benefits, including pay, healthcare coverage, and job placement resources to support their transition. Employees whose roles were eliminated are encouraged to explore open positions across Microsoft Gaming, where their applications will be given priority review. So basically, people that were laid off will be given priority because they've previously worked at Microsoft, as well as maybe the Xbox division. So, from Seattle Times, Microsoft said that as much as 4%, or roughly 9,100 employees of the company's current employees, could be affected by Wednesday's layoffs. They currently employ 228,000 people worldwide. That includes Microsoft and, of course, the Xbox gaming division. So 4% would be that 9,000, of course. This is from the Seattle Times right here. Now, what this has affected, of course, are games like Perfect Dark. As we see here from Windows Central, Microsoft is closing down Xbox Studio. The initiative with Perfect Dark killed off as well, joining Everwild and ZeniMax's new IP and other unannounced projects. Now, at least for me, I don't really care about ZeniMax's new IP. I didn't really care about Elder Scrolls Online. Skyrim was fantastic. The Oblivion Remastered has been very good. And we haven't seen much of Everwild, so I really don't care about that. I would rather have Rare work on a new Banjo-Kazooie, because I feel that's a way more popular IP than creating some new IP that no one's really seen anything from. Perfect Dark, yeah, that would have been a great revival for the series, as they're doing things like reviving Fable. It would have been a great thing to have Perfect Dark revived as well, but of course, that seems to not happen, and honestly, I don't think the initiative was the best, choice for that game. I really feel nothing for that game. It would have been nice to see what they would have done with new technology and all that, but the original Perfect Dark is a masterpiece, so that's perfectly fine for me. Coming to us as well from Windows Central, Xbox is canceling Rare's Everwild and ZeniMax's new MMORPG IP as part of broader cuts, with Perfect Dark impacted as well. So we're reading here. Microsoft set up the initiative in 2018 with a team of industry vets. In 2025, the studio is closing, having never shipped a game. Earlier, we reported exclusively that Perfect Dark was on the chopping block as part of Microsoft's latest round of cuts. Now we can confirm the sad news. Today, Microsoft revealed broad layoffs hitting 4% of its global workforce across every division of the company. Many of those layoffs are hitting Xbox, with staffers in various departments receiving notice today. Many of those affected include Xbox Studio, the initiative, which is sadly being closed down. Perfect Dark was set to be a revival of Rare's classic stealth IP from the early 2000s. The team at the initiative was set up in 2018 with studio heavyweights including leader Daryl Gallagher of Tomb Raider fame. Well, the way that Tomb Raider has been going when it comes to Crystal Dynamics, that's not really a huge thing considering the look of Jonah Dark and, Lara Croft. Gallagher's former team at Crystal Dynamics was working together with Microsoft on Perfect Dark, and that partnership will now also conclude. However, we did get another huge announcement from Rare, a really bad announcement from Rare, where it says, sources, Banjo-Kazooie Sea of Thieves director leaves Rare after 35 years following the Everwild cancellation. And again, I believe a new Banjo-Kazooie would have been a much better choice to make over Everwild. Influential designer Greg Mayles will leave the company according to sources. Greg Mayles, Rare's most experienced and influential game designer, will leave the company after more than 35 years, sources have told VGC. According to the multiple people at the studio who spoke to VGC anonymously, Mayles will leave Rare following news of Everwild's cancellation on Wednesday. The designer had been directing the project since his team was restructured in 2021. According to the sources, executive producer Louise Connor, another Rare veteran whose first project was Conker's Bad Fur Day for the N64, will also leave the company following Everwild's cancellation. VGC asks Microsoft for comment. Mayles was one of the Rare's earliest design hires, with his first credited game, Solar Jetman, releasing in 1990. He went on to become one of the British studio's most prolific and celebrated game directors, helming Donkey Kong Country and its sequel, Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie, Grab by the Ghoulies, and Viva Pinata, all fantastic games. So he actually has real great credits under his belt, unlike the guy from Crystal Dynamics. So that's a story for another day. It is very interesting, though, that people are out here, console warring, of course, because they have to, even though they're basically just trimming the fat after buying things like Activision Blizzard King and buying Bethesda, mostly Activision Blizzard King. But, these things are expected to happen when you have multiple mergers like this. It's not really a great thing, especially when they're doing collaborations with Meta for an Xbox edition of the Meta Quest 3S, as well as the ROG Xbox Ally, and then you have all these people being laid off as if Microsoft isn't a $3 trillion company, but it was all coming to fruition with all of this. Eventually, you knew more layoffs were going to come as people get absolutely trimmed from Microsoft, considering, all the employees they brought in. They gotta get rid of people that aren't really necessary. Hopefully it's mostly people from DEI related, because you had a bunch of people being hired during all the nonsense going on in 2020, and you just kind of gotta sort of trim the fat. So I thank you all for checking out this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. How do you feel about Perfect Dark, Everwild, and ZeniMax's unknown MMORPG IP being canceled? Were you looking forward to any of those? Obviously, I don't know about the unknown IP, but Perfect Dark as well as Everwild. Let me know what you guys think. Subscribe for more content like this. Hit the bell for notifications. Set the bell to all. That way you'll get a notification anytime I post a video or go live on the channel. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.